For centuries, the major oak in Nottinghamshire has been the most famous tree in the country, if not the world, owing to its association with the outlaw Robin Hood. It is the largest oak tree in England, and is thought to be around 1,000 years old. A gap in the trunk allows people to climb inside, and having been in there myself, I can say that the interior is pretty big enough for about a dozen adults. The chambered tomb at Newgrange is one of the world's oldest buildings, going back over 5,000 years. Every year at the winter solstice, the sun shines directly through a light box at the entrance passage, a feat of archaeoastronomy whose significance to the mound's builders can only be guessed at. The contemporaneous sister tombs of Dowth and Knowth contain many examples of megalithic art, carved swirls, spirals, and lozenges. The tombs were lost for 4,000 years until well into the 20th century. At least as old as Newgrange is Gilgal Refaim, or Rojum Hiri, in the Golan Heights. It consists of tens of thousands of tons of stones, but why they were arranged on this desolate plateau is still a riddle. Theories about the structure, which is unique in the Middle East, range from a calendar to a defensive enclosure or a religious site. Badami in mid-western India is a sandstone cave temple complex from the 6th and 8th centuries, with caves devoted to Shiva, Vishnu, and Jainism. They contain intricate murals and sculptures. Guj was an ancient kingdom in western Tibet, whose capital was Tsaparang from the 10th century. The city is ruined now, but its caves still contain vivid Buddhist frescoes. The Guj kingdom lasted until the 17th century, when the capital was overthrown by invaders. These impressive sunken circles in Peru were rediscovered from the air in 1932. The structures are supposedly Incan, although some have doubted this. But an interesting idea is that the circles contain microclimates and represent different climate conditions from around the Incan Empire. This allowed the organizers of the empire to calculate annual food production, a kind of sunken greenhouse and research station. The acoustical properties of the circles would therefore be a coincidence. Of all the ruins in Central and South America, Tiwanaku has been a prime conductor for controversial ideas, the most persistent being that it is one of the world's oldest cities, going back 12,000 years or more. The city is 12 miles from the southeastern shore of Lake Titicaca, which some 9,000 years ago was high enough to make Tiwanaku a true port city. Archaeologists noted seashells in the bedrock, which could support this, and Arthur Posansky, an important figure in Tiwanaku studies, evidenced his theory for the city's great age, making it far older than conventional studies can accept. The surviving structures, including the famous Gateway to the Sun, are made from enormous stones perfectly assembled without mortar. Tiwanaku was suddenly abandoned 800 years ago, leaving no written records. The town of Lalibela in the mountains of northern Ethiopia is an important site of pilgrimage. The 11 churches there were carved from the volcanic rock around 1100 years ago, but the dates for them are not definitely known. The saintly King Lalibela, who built the churches, is said to have been inspired by a trip to Jerusalem. Further north is the ancient seat of the kingdom of Axum, the holiest city in Ethiopia. At the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion is said to be the original Ark of the Covenant, repository of the Ten Commandments. One guardian monk is appointed for life, and once chosen, he cannot leave the church for the rest of his life. To all except this one monk, the church interior is forever secret.